to Leo Gaming. We are starting a brand new series here on the Leo Gaming channel. And first and foremost, thank you guys so much for continuing your support of the channel. It helps me out a ton and lets me know that you guys want to see my videos. Anyway, we will get started here in just a moment, but for those who are very new and have not been acquainted with Airport CEO before, Airport CEO is a airport simulation based game. So you are basically managing slash micromanaging the ins and outs of your airport, and what we will be doing in this airport is actually creating and doing our own airport. So we will go from having general aviation flights to commercial flights to international flights. These are it's gonna be a slow progress. We're gonna have a lot of development that's gonna be needed, and I do want to go and let you guys know this is a semi-blind playthrough, so I have played through a bit of the game, and I know the basics and the ins and outs of what I need to focus on to get the airport running, but there will be some help that I will need from you guys, the audience, most likely during the transition of like commercial airlines to international airlines. If that sounds like something you guys don't mind being a part of, go ahead and smash the like button, letting me know that you guys want to see this series, and then we will go ahead and get started here in the game. We're going to go and create a new airport. Whenever you create a new airport, the game will request that you do create your own character. Your character is pretty much going to be the CEO of your airport. So I'm just going to do... Ooh. That's kind of weird. I'm just going to name my character Andrew Leo. There we go. There's that. I'm just going to be changing up a little bit here. And there we go. It's not a direct representation, but this is a close enough representation to what I look like in real life. So that's a good idea for you guys, for those who do not watch my live streams or have never seen my update videos. And there will actually be an update video coming out later on, most likely halfway through April. So where are we going to have this airport? This airport is going to be located in Freya. This kind of like Cape Verde area. That's the name of this. It's simply a cluster of islands that it gets a very abundant amount of regional and general aviation traffic, but not necessarily international, and that's why I really want to show some light on. And it doesn't really matter like what you name it. I'm just gonna call it the Praia Airfield, and PRA for its IATA code, and we're gonna do that logo. And we are going to go and start on moderate difficulty. This will start us off with $1,000 in cash, and it's going to be a pretty challenging start off because you have to manage your money a little bit more than usual, but definitely you will be seeing that a lot more. And let's go and get into the game. Okay, so that was actually a quick load time. And we are now introduced to that. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this panel here, skip the tutorial and hide the panel. So for those who are not acquainted with an airport simulation based game, let me actually go ahead and pause this simulation real quick. You have your basic controls down here, your speed controls down here at the bottom. Then you have your date and time panel down here, the amount of days that you have been playing, day 1, and then the amount of years, year 1, the day of the week that it is, and the current time of day. You will always be starting off at 8 a.m. and yeah. And then we also get the weather panel right here. We don't have access to this yet as we do not have a basic weather station. You can simply find that by going into aircraft infrastructure and by going into weather station, but we'll get into that a little bit more later on in the playthrough. So the way I generally start up is I go into aircraft infrastructure and start off by getting a runway to begin with. And I usually go and place a runway going north-south, right about like there-ish. And then it is a grass runway, so we're not necessarily going to have to worry about doing anything special with these runway types. So we will go and grab our runway entries and exits. These are going to be what determines our entry and exit points for our aircrafts, and we need to put them on each end. It will not allow us to put them like right here. It will allow us to put it anywhere else on the runway, but preferably you want to have it on the end, just not right here, like the tail end of it. So right here I'd say would be best on both sides. And I would always recommend that you put them on the same side that you want your terminal basically to be at. So there is that. Now let's go and get some actual taxiway foundations in. So we're going to start off with grass taxiway foundation. I'm going to start off with a 7x5 area on both sides. And then we're going to stop constructing from here. Then what you want to do at this point, now you already got some construction queued up in the game, you want to go and start off by getting some actual contractors. The way you go ahead and get drawn contractors is go into your management panel. If you don't know how to do that, just press tab on your keyboard. This will bring you to the dashboard of your management panel, and you can see all these different tabs here up at the top. You want to go to economy and then go to offered contracts. Typically I like to filter these to contractors, but you can simply tell by the logo to the right of the contract what type of contract it is. If it looks like this, it is a contractor-based contract. So we already have 4 of them enabled, or 4 of them available to us. We have to sign at least one of these in order for construction to start. And I will let you guys know right now that I am using a couple different mods that add in new different types of contractors, new different types of airlines, new different type of fuel suppliers, and some other things as well that I can't remember off the top of my head. So typically what I like to do, I like to take a look at these one by one. So Brickley, they are offering a maximum amount of deployed contractors to be 63 and a 7.7 fee for each contractor that is being used. Okay, that's pretty decent actually. That's really good. Highway construction is allowing for a maximum of 67 contractors and an hourly fee of 7.5 contractor, or $7.5 per contractor. So that's actually a little bit better than Brickley. Peeb, which is offering 70 maximum constructors but 9.3 for an hourly fee per contractor. So I don't think we're going to go with them. The Wilmot Dixon, 11.2 per contractor and up to 49 maximum. I don't think we're going to go with that one either. So we are going to go with the highway one, simply for the fact that it's the cheapest, and it actually provides us with a higher maximum amount of contractors than Brickley does. Brickley offers 63, whereas highway offers 67. We will go ahead and sign that. That will be our contract that we have with us. You can see that it's in green right over here. We can cancel the contract at any time. There's not going to be any fees applied, but bear in mind, this is not the same with all contract. Okay. Oh yeah, it actually says right here, cancellation fees applies. So I'm not too sure what the cancellation fee is as per se, so that would be something to dabble in later on in the series. So we got that signed off. Next up, we want to go into operations. and then go over to construction. We have a demand for, our construction demand exists at the moment, 73 total objects. That's the runway itself, 2 different entries / exit points, and then like 2 different sections of like 7x5 areas that need to be constructed. And that totals like 73 right there, which is pretty spot on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down control while pressing the up arrow on this bar right here. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3. We are going to deploy 30 contractors to go and get this done quickly. That go ahead and calls out the contractors, go ahead and have them come out here. And just as fair warning, with the contractors, you are only allowed to have a maximum of 1 contractor contract at any given time. So you can have multiple different airline contracts, but you can't have more than 1 construction-based contract, if that makes sense. They're going to do the same amount of work across all of them. It just depends on how much you are willing to pay for them. So now they are all arrived down here, and they're going to get started on the construction. So we can see them going hard at work over here. Next up, I want to go and get started with getting some more taxiway foundations laid out. And then we are going to go ahead and line up a 5x65 grid right here. And what are we going to use that for? Simply said, we are going to use that to connect 2 sides of the runway. Simply. And then what we want to do next is grab the taxiway path. You saw me already grab it right before I decided to show it to you guys. And then you want to go ahead and connect up where this little icon right here looks to be like a plane taking off icon. And you want to drag it down to here. Yes, we know, game. Make sure to have an exit and entry on each side. So we want to drag it down to right there. The runway is already created, so we don't need to worry about that. And then, let's see. They haven't started working on this side yet, but they are working over here, which is pretty damn good. They are making fast progress of this. So, first off, let's go and work on getting a ATC tower. Since this is going to be for a general aviation area, I want to focus on making it smaller than what we need it to be. So I'm going to use a small ATC tower, just so that way we can go ahead and prioritize on that a little bit less in the future. In fact, I'm going to have it be like, will right there be okay? Maybe right over here. Okay, that's coming in this way. So let's actually have the ATC tower on this side. And there we go. We'll have it right over here. And then what we want to do, we want to go and get some aircraft stands. Now normally I place my aircraft stands and my ATC tower on this side, but I feel like I'm going to do something a bit different here. I'm going to have it be on this side just to see if it makes it a bit easier, just makes it like balances it out a bit more or something else like that. So let's go and get a few aircraft stands. Each one of these aircraft stands are going to cost us $20,000 each. So I'm just going to start us off with 3 aircraft stands. We will get those connected up shortly. Let's go and use the taxiway path to go and fill up as much as we can of that. And we can go on 3 times speed, or I think we have already been on 3 times speed. Oh, okay. So, next up, we want to go into infrastructure and transport. This is how we're going to be able to connect the entire airport together. I want to go and use an asphalt road, and I want to go ahead and create a 30 by 20 right there. And then let's go and actually get a service road right here. And right along here. And then let's go and have you come straight down here. Ooh, actually, we could want to go and get rid of that one, that one, that one, and that one. Yeah. And then go back into infrastructure and transport and grab a vehicle checkpoint. This is so that way we will actually be able to let vehicles in and out of our airport a little bit easier. So let's put that right there. And an asphalt road, we are going to connect you up like so. There we go. So what we can do right now, since it is nighttime and we have a lot of construction work going on, we can go ahead and get into our operations tab and go ahead and click fast forward to next day. This will go ahead and fast forward time to 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. my bad, in game, and you can still navigate around the airport, just that it's going to be a bit tricky at first, and you can still do stuff while it's doing this. So you don't have to think, oh, I can't do anything while it's doing running this. No, you can still do stuff. It's a misconception that you're not allowed to do anything anyway. Okay. So they are still running a little bit. And we are past 4 a.m. And I think what we want to go and get started with, since we are finishing up this taxiway a little bit here, I want to go and go on 3 times speed again, which I've already been on actually. I will do this a lot occasionally. I will forget that I'm on 3 times speed when I'm not. Or vice versa. Okay, so these ones are open, or these ones can accept General Aviation. So in order to go ahead and accept General Aviation flights, you want to go and click this first box here to allow this aircraft stand to accept that type of flight. Typically what you would want to have to do then is open up the stand right afterwards, so that way it stops giving you that like red and operating signal. And then we just need to wait for that to be completed. We haven't started working on this, so that's good. Right there. And then all we need to do is just connect these 4 together. Almost there. Sometimes you will be waiting a long time for them to actually get work done, but typically you can imagine your contractors get things done relatively quickly. Okay. So we are sitting at $718,000 right now. That is actually not that bad. Typically at this point I would be somewhere around 600,000, so I've definitely saved a lot of money by doing this route. So yeah. Now they're going to start working on the service road, and as they are working on that, let's go and get some more stuff worked on. So we're going to get a service vehicle parking lot. This is what we're going to need to use in order to get our fuel trucks, our airside shuttle buses, and some other various things. Okay. And then we also need to... that's another thing we need to get started. So we can technically open up the airport now. So open it up, and we need to enable General Aviation. This will allow flights to start landing at our airport, collecting money, and so on and so forth. Cannot land due to the following: small runway is not active. Ooh, yeah, that's right. We need to activate the runway. There we go. Okay, they're just gonna come here and land for a moment. They're literally gonna be here for at least like good. How long are you staying here for? Like 3 hours ish. You are gonna stay here for about 3 hours as well. And oh my, you're actually gonna be staying here. It says 5 hours and 40 minutes, but that time does not look right to me. So there's that. Okay. So let's go ahead and actually go into economy and then go into procurements. This is basically going to be your research and basic vehicle purchasing center. This will enable you to get vehicles such as in a service car, a shuttle bus, or even fuel trucks, which you actually have to do the fuel service unlock first. So we do that real quick. And that will take 2 hours to complete. So if we do 3 times speed, it will get done slightly faster. Okay, this stuff is going to get done like relatively shortly. Seriously though. The game is smart about telling the contractors like what needs to be done, like at what time, just that way it makes a little bit more sense. And one thing I might do, I might move this up over here a little bit just to make things slightly easier. In fact, I think that's what I'll do right now. Loading sites, I think I'll place like right here, and then a contractor offload site right there. There we go. Both of those have been placed, and we can demolish those two. That's going to take some time to go ahead and turn back into grass. And there we go. You can see it magically do that in a little bit of a wait, but oh well. Okay, now we are down to $661,000. Okay, not bad. Let's actually go and get some more aircraft gates as well. Since we only got 3 at the very moment. So let's do 1 and 2 more. That's gonna come here pretty shortly. And then, yep, there it is. And then contractors are gonna go out and take care of that. Let's go and get the taxiway path connected for those gates, or those stands, I mean. And yeah. So now that we pretty much got the airport started off with General Aviation, what I typically like to do, I like to go ahead and knock down my contractor count to only 10. So we can do that here in just a moment, but let's go and enable these for General Aviation and open up stands. Those will be accessible during the next day. So go to operations. We're going to quickly fast forward to next day, go into contractors, and we only have 30 right now, right? Yep. So we are going to go ahead and dismiss 20 of them. There we go. We only got 10 contractors now. Vehicle should have left with it by now, I think. Yep. So I only got 10 contractors now. This just helps us save a little bit of money and then allows us to collect more money from these planes. That's the whole intention of doing General Aviation, collecting money from actual planes. Okay. Now that we have that done, we can actually go and get started with fuel services. So if we go into our economy tab, we need to go into offered contracts first. And we gotta wait a few minutes. Wait, no, we don't need to wait that. we need to actually go into aircraft infrastructure, and we need to select a type of fuel depot. This wasn't here before, but when you finish that fuel service procurement, it unlocks. So this is how it showed up. We're gonna have a small fuel depot. I'd say right there. And then we are just going to leave that be for the moment. That's the only thing that needs to be constructed at this time. And then while we are doing that, go into, not vehicles, economy, procurements. And we can either do a Freud fuel truck or a Maverick fuel truck. A Maverick fuel truck will house a total of, how much is it? I don't exactly remember how much it. So it measures out to go ahead and stores 160 liters of fuel, whereas the Freud one only stores 80. So we're gonna do it the Freud because one, it is the cheaper option of the two, and frankly, I don't really want to have to spend much more money than that. So we will go in and get that, and yeah. That'll take a couple minutes for it to actually get here, but it will show up nonetheless. And we should be seeing here pretty shortly. Or not. Well, the fuel depot, he's just about done. You can see the green bars scrolling across their body. Oh, the fuel truck is on its way. Where are you? Should be coming straight down this road. Yep, there's our fuel truck. And then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and sign a contract. Now that our fuel depot is completed, we need to go ahead and go into economy once again and offered contracts. Now we get fuel services coming at us, going like, oh, we are better fuel for you. Going something like that. Nature fuel. This offers 1.49 dollars per liter of AVGAS. Okay. Slow enough. 1.52. I think that's more, right? Yeah. 5.03. Quiner 1.53. More. 1.45. You might be our winner. 1.46. So our winner at the moment is Lukoil. I want to double check to make sure that there's not going to be another one that comes in any moment. And then the fuel services is the only other contract other than contractors that are simply one contract only. So you have to be contracted through them. So you gotta be paying attention to it a little bit. So let's go ahead and sign that. That is going to be our contracting service. And then they are going to come in and fuel up our fuel depot pretty shortly here. We should see like a large yellow truck coming down this way. There it is. Almost looks like a school bus from this high up. But no. It's just simply a fuel truck. And let's see here. How much fuel are you going to be bringing us? That's odd. Oh, you only emptied off like 15% of your fuel. Damn. And you're going to go and fill up to 100%. There you go. We're down to 33% left in our tank. There we go. Now we are going to get more aircraft flights here pretty shortly. So before we do continue, let's go ahead and go back into operations. And then we want to go ahead and enable AVGAS 100 LLO refueling services. enabled. Okay, this will allow aircrafts to go ahead and request refueling services while they are here um, at the airfield. So that is that. And let's go and actually get some more taxiways then. So 1, and let's do 2. Okay. Do you want fuel? Yes, you do. That is going to be our first General Aviation flight that actually wants fuel. They will pay handsomely for it, so yeah. Okay. Game pause there for a second. I don't know what for. You are wanting fuel. Okay. That one is done. And we got those ones done as well. So I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good stopping point for this episode. For those who are watching a part of the premiere, thank you guys so much for coming on out and enjoying us for this first ever premiere, actually, on the Leo Gaming channel. It is really exciting to see that people are interested in this. But for those who are watching this after the premiere has already aired, thank you so much for watching today. If you have liked the video, please do go ahead and consider giving it a like rating. If you are feeling more complicated than a thumbs up or a thumbs down, please leave it in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day now.